Hi there, I'm Kainoa Harbottle, and we're here in the busy streets of New York City to share with you what I think is my favorite coin trick of all time, or at least right now. It is my go-to effect and has been for many years. It's the trick I do all the time for lay people. It's the trick that I do all the time for magicians. If someone asks me to perform one trick, this is the trick I do. It's a little complicated. It can be a little challenging. However, there are lessons to be learned through each of the different sequences, and I'm really eager to share them with you. So the way this routine came about was way back in 2007. I did this piece with my friend Curtis Cam called Ain't Misbehavin'. It was one of these things that we worked on together, and what ended up happening was that he did his own version and I did mine. So the manuscript is actually in two parts, where it has his handling and my handling. It was a lot of fun to work on. And what happened was that what we were both inspired by was the idea of the misdirection production. You know, a lot of the times when you'll do a misdirection production with a coin, it'll appear on a table when the audience isn't looking at the table. But what happens when you don't have a table? What happens when you want to raise all of your magic up to your fingertips? So that was our challenge. And we both went about it in very different ways. Now, I dropped the word 8 out of mine because Curtis he eats his coins. I don't eat my coins. But the coins are still misbehaving, at least from the audience's perspective. And it depends on your presentation. They can be misbehaving from your perspective too. But for me, it was this challenge was, how can I take these moments of misdirection productions and turn it into something that can be done stand-up for a larger audience to be able to appreciate. So that's the basis of this whole routine. And I think that's what we've accomplished here. So let's check out what the routine looks like. Have you ever seen one of these before? It's a cheap hand puppet. Hi, boys and girls. No, I keep my props small, that way they're easier for me to carry around. Let me try to stretch this one out for you, make it easier for you to see. It's an old silver $50. It means about the turn of the century. It's what they call a barber half. You see how it sort of shines and glints in the light here? If I take some of that shine off and hold that shine at my fingertips and give that shine a little shake, it gives me a second coin just like that. It's 1 and 2. If I reach out over here in the air, though, see what I get is coin number 4. See, coin number 3 already appeared here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I understand if it's confusing, because just a moment before, you were sworn there were only 2, right? And a moment before that, you would have sworn there was only the 1. And this one, you saw me doing the little hand puppet thing, you didn't think there was a coin there, but there was. You thought I was lying to you, but I wasn't. That's coin number 1. That's coin number 2. That's coin number 3. That's 1, 2, 3 coins. If I reach out in the air over here, I can always cause coin number 4 to appear where you least expect it. That's what the other 3, by the way. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I tell you what, this thing, when I'm reaching around like this, I'm making you look all over the place. It's what we magicians call misdirection. Don't take your eyes off the 4 coins, because if you blink, you'll miss the moment when one of them just vanishes at your fingertips. Just like that. So you couldn't tell, but I did distract you just for a moment. It was just a moment. See that's how easy it is, leaving me with just the 2. I'll tell you what, I'll try to help you out here. Don't watch this coin. Don't pay attention to this coin, because if you pay attention to this coin over here, you'll miss the moment when this one vanishes over here. This is the magic coin. I'll explain it all, okay? This magic coin, when I wave it over this hand, it causes coin number 3 to appear here, because see, coin number 2 appeared here at the same time coin number 4 appeared here, and even I'm confused at that point. I don't know how it works. So before we get into the routine itself, let me show you what you need. You need 4 $50. Or what you need are 3 $50 and an expanded shell. All right? The first version of this that I'm going to show you is the version that I do all the time. And yes, it uses the gimmick. It uses the expanded shell. Why? Because it's cleaner and it looks better. However, I also have a sleight of hand version for those of you out there who are purists that use 4 $50. You see that it looks pretty much the same, the routine, except the version with the shell is just a little cleaner, And but that means a lot to me. So that's what you need before we get started. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the routine that I think of as the original. That's the one with the gimmick. And I'm going to walk you through each and every one of the moves. And so that way you get a feel for the whole routine. And then we'll go back and we'll talk about the version with the sleight of hand, and you'll see how similar the routine is. It really is. So some of the moves get a little more, I don't know, maybe complicated because you have an extra coin running around in the background. With the nice thing about a shell is that it palms a coin for you, right? That's the genius of the shell. So now that you know what you need and what you're getting into, let's get started with Misbehave. So the basic palm that I use all the time is edge grip. Edge grip was created, it's got a long history, but the person who really popularized it was David Roth, David with his hanging coins. The original position for edge grip was right about here, so that you could hold another object and keep it concealed from the audience, but if you turned on edge, the audience could look directly into the hand and end up not seeing the coin, right? So you have to watch your angles a little bit here, but you're in a very good place. Now, the touch that I've been encouraging people to use with edge grip is instead of keeping it so far to the front, and I think this is the position that really frightens people about it, if I bring it back to about the middle, in between, so not all the way to down's palm, but not so far up here that you can't move your middle finger, but in the middle, now my middle finger has motion. And that's the key for this. So now I still get the fact that you can stare into the hand, but I'm able to move that middle finger. Because this is what we're going to need to do. We're going to need to get that coin in and out. So here's the basic move. It's like doing a retention pass, but with just the middle finger. So instead of grabbing two fingers, I'm going to grab the one. The middle finger is going to touch the edge of the coin, and that coin is going to pivot along the thumb and the index finger. Pivot slightly, just like that. But you can see that by the time that middle finger pulls in, that coin is already almost tipped to the side. This is a very important position for this entire routine. Now, if I get the thumb out of the way and continue to pull that middle finger back, look where it ends up. It ends up in perfect position for the thumb to hold on to the coin here. Now the coin is immediately pressed in, and that middle finger can get out from underneath. And now look where I am. I'm right into edge grip. So if I reverse those actions, I can get the coin out. Middle finger goes underneath. Coin comes out. The coin, look at that coin, it's actually clipped. If that thumb gets out of the way, it's just lightly clipped. If you were here to remove it, I'm barely holding on to that coin. That middle finger comes underneath, extends. The thumb then pushes. The middle finger is going to freeze here. The thumb then pushes, and the coin goes to the fingertips. So now notice I have a way to make a coin go into edge grip and come out. Go in and come out. It's very clean. Now, if I start to combine this with things like the other hand doing something, like say as a basic vanish, you'll see me take the coin in the retention pass position here. This hand's going to close over, and at the same time as this hand closes over, the middle finger is going to extend and perform that same clipping action. Right? So now the coin is clipped, it can go all the way back into edge grip, and the coin has vanished. So from the audience perspective, they see a very clean vanish. But you can put that coin into edge grip whenever you need to. Now, that's the basic move. Once you get that position comfortable with one coin, then you can start going into the full routine. Now, in the main version of this full routine, the one that uses the shell, I'm going to be set up now with 3 coins, the equivalent of 3 coins. Really, it's a coin, 3 coins, and a shell in the edge grip position. That's where they start. The stack of them, and notice that it's the same place. Now also notice that if my middle finger goes underneath the stack, I can contact the bottom coin, the thumb and other part of the middle finger still gripping onto the rest of the stack, and I can bring that coin out. It's the same move. And this is why people should be not as afraid of edge grip as they are, because if you learn the basic version of it, you can do the complex version of it, because the moves don't change. The moves don't change. That middle finger pushes the coin out, and that middle finger can also go and grab that coin and bring it right back in. And notice that I'm in that same position of that clip there. The whole stack is now being held safely by the middle finger against the index finger. So the thumb can get out of the way, and the bottom coin can go back in the edge grip. So again, it goes out, it comes in. It goes out, it comes in. One note, and this is going to be important later on, sometimes you don't have to put the coin in the whole way. You can rest there, and you're going to be completely fine. That's how we're going to accomplish our wave vanish in a little bit. So that's edge grip, going in and out with the multiple coins, and this is our starting point for misbehavior. One of the things to think about is, and it does make people a little nervous, because anytime you have putting a coin in so that it's going to touch another coin, you get worried about sound. Now, the easiest way to not worry about sound is to use as soft a coin as possible. However, edge grip really allows you to cover the sound. What most people don't know, like if you think about, say you're adding coins on top of coins in the classic palm, the one thing you don't want to do is slap the coin in. You want the coins to be touching as soon as possible. So like say with classic palm, you slide the coins in so they actually slide onto each other. You're going to do the exact same here in edge grip. So I have the coin, I have the regular coin here. I have the coin that has the shell. That second finger is going to extend, and notice that as it bends, look at that. Look at the edge, how quickly the edge of the coin actually touch. In other words, they're going to maintain that positive contact throughout. So that as that middle finger comes in, you're going to have them just brushing against each other. And so you don't get that moment of a slap in. What you want is a moment of positive contact as soon as possible that then allows you to put it in the rest of the way. Now, another little trick about this is that if you're putting a coin in edge grip, it doesn't have to go fast. You can think about it as a two-step process. In other words, I'm taking the coin, I'm putting it here, I'm performing the vanish, right? At this point, I'm in the clip position. I don't have to immediately throw it into edge grip. I can put it into edge grip as this hand reaches over to take this coin. So I'm here, this hand comes away. I'm already starting to slide into edge grip, but that means that's because I'm moving forward, and it's not until I take this coin that I'm all the way into edge grip. So with edge grip, the nice thing about it is that you can one of the ways to make it as quiet as possible is that you can go in steps, right? So bit by bit. And the slower you do it, actually, the easier it is for you to maintain the silence of the coin going to the bottom of the stack. So we're in our starting position. 3 coins, nested coin in the shell on top. And now we're going to do our first production. With my empty hand, I come out and I do that little joke about the hand puppet. Hey, boys and girls, I love magic, right? And now you have this little bit of nothing. You can transfer it to this hand, and look, you can turn to the audience and show them that there's nothing inside. Now, from your angle, you can look right directly in, but from their angle, from the audience's angle, they can't see anything. So they see nothing here. Now it's nothing here. Now you're going to do the basic production. So all this hand does is this middle finger, as usual, is going to go underneath, grab the coin off the bottom of the stack, and bring it to the fingertips. Notice that coin looks like it almost floats sometimes because it's just resting on the pad of my finger. If I turn over, it falls. But because I'm level to the audience, which is probably the most important thing to remember with edge grip, as long as the stack is level to the eyes of the audience, you don't have to worry about that coin falling out. So the left hand, or at least the hand that I'm palming in, which if you haven't noticed yet is my left, does that. It just does the basic production. Bam. The other hand, before the coin comes out, what the other hand does is it shows the emptiness here. So I just transfer. I flash here like this, and I close. And as I close, I do the move. So that when I open, the coin looks like it appears. So the coin's in position. I have the nothingness, they see the nothingness. I come back, hand comes over, I perform the move, open the hand, the coin appears. It's a very visual moment. Number 1, that's the first coin to be produced. So just left hand's action all by itself. That middle finger goes and does the 1 coin production, the coin comes out, and pushes the coin to the fingertips. Now, this looks better if, when you start, this middle finger is slightly curved in. Because when it comes out, the coin comes out, you're going to want to keep that finger curved slightly. In other words, the picture looks better. Let me show you. So if I come out like this, and then do that, right? Now all of a sudden there are two fingers on that 1 coin, right? that doesn't look as good as if I'm showing you just this thumb and index finger touching, bring the hand in, do the secret move, see? And now that middle finger stays behind. So it's just that index finger and thumb that's holding on to that coin. Now what you're going to do is you're just going to let that coin drop to the other hand. And you're going to perform, guess what? The exact same motion you just did. That middle finger is going to go under the stack and produce the one coin, the one regular coin. So you're left with the coin that's in the nested shell in edge grip. Now, it's going to do that, but at the other time, your opposite hand is going to perform it's just going to take the coin in finger palm and then turn palm down. That's right, we're doing a shuttle pass. The shuttle pass out of edge grip. So the coin's here, you're showing the one that you just produced, bam. Now this hand turns over as this it covers just enough so that this hand can perform its secret move. So from here to here. I'll do it again. From here to here. Now that little bit of motion is all it takes. It gives a very nice illusion of that being the same coin. So now, as far as the audience knows, this hand was just empty, right? Because you just did this production. And now you're loaded. And they have no idea. So again, it's the same motion. It's this economy of motion that makes edge grip so easy once you learn the basics of it. Same move, finger just goes like that, right? And if you're feeling a little nervous, you can cover this hand a little more, but you'll find that you can create a very decent illusion of that coin with a slight distance between the hands. So they think this is the first coin. It really is the second coin. You're one ahead. So that is the shuttle pass out of edge grip. So we've just produced the first coin, and we've shuttled over, so now we're one ahead in the audience. They don't know that we have this guy in finger palm. And so, by the way, just a good idea, when you're finger palming a coin, I often use the Ramsey finger palm rather than like the sort of like I love Texas or the devil or I love you finger palm, right? Just the third finger is all that's necessary. Just the third finger to hold that coin in place. So they only know about this coin. I'm now going to perform a production done by Larry Jennings. It was in his version of the hanging coins, actually. What happens is you reach out in the air with a little bit of nothing, or what I usually do is I say I'm going to take the shine off the coin and give a little shake. And I shake my fingertips like this, and when I shake, the coin appears. Okay. Now this is the big secret move. The big secret move is the coin's in finger palm. I just plant my thumb on the back of the coin and I push it forward. This is a good example of when the larger motion covers the smaller motion. So as I shake, I just push that coin out. Looks very good. In fact, it actually looks even better the farther the audience is away, which is very strange. It's because it takes them longer to focus in on whatever the object is that just appeared at your fingertips. This looks great with bottle caps. This looks great with, any virtual, little, I used to do this at school, with an eraser. Oh, I need an eraser. Oof, you get a great response from people, okay? So this is what we're going to be doing for this very visual moment. So you have already had the first coin appear very visually. Now we have this nice isolated moment where we're here. Bam. That's coin number 2. One thing to remember is that you don't need to, I've seen people say, is this right? You don't need to use the whole arm. All you need to do is use your wrist. Right? That small little motion is all it takes. Okay? And you can play with the speed. For some people, it's a little bit better if they do it really slowly and then speed up at the end. For some people, it's better if you start going quickly and then slow down. That's the second production of the coin, usually the Larry Jennings production. So you've just produced the second coin. The audience is aware of only 2. You're still holding out one coin in the hand, and that's the coin that has the shell. The hand that doesn't have the shell just lets its coin drop into a finger palm, open finger palm display. So the audience can see the coin. The other coin is released, dropped right on top. So, and isn't that nice? Because you have 2 real coins, right? You might as well allow them to make noise. And that's what makes it fun to use, right? Now, you're going to perform a utility pass, and it's really more of a friction pass than a utility pass, but we don't need to get all crazy on it. The thumb with the point and edge grip is going to just let that coin fall a little bit out so that the third finger can kind of hold on and just let it fall. Just really gentle, sort of like, oh, happy coin and shell, right? Now with these two, all that happens is that I'm going to turn this hand down a little bit as this hand is coming down with its coin. And the coin that's free floating because it's not touching my skin is just released, right? So it just goes from hand to hand. Now, that's all it is. So they see two here. They see two here. Again, we're one ahead now in the hand that was just produced the one coin, and now, it's, as far as the audience is concerned, there's no way you have another coin here, right? Because the utility pass is, as always, probably one of the most dangerous moves in coin magic, because it really is a convincer. So now we're here. We have two here. We're one ahead of them. This is concealed in the hand. They don't know about that yet, thanks to finger palm, right? These two are ready to go, and we're going to go into our next move, where we're going to have to do one slight little readjustment before we can do it. And so that's the utility pass. So you've just performed the utility pass. They don't know about this coin that is now concealed. You have the regular coin, and it just hit the back of the nested coin. So you don't have to worry about it hitting the shell, right? It's going to hit the back of the coin that's nested. Now we're going to do a one-handed unnesting of the coin, okay? Of the coin and shell, rather. But in order to get into position to do that, we're going to have to displace these two coins. In other words, this coin is going to have to end up closer to the audience, underneath the coin that has the shell in it. To do this is just something I kind of fussed with until I can do it now. It makes me happy. The thumb's going to push the regular coin forward until it touches the middle finger, the pad of the middle finger. The third finger is now going to push up. See that? I'm already in position, right? If I push this, the thumb pushes the coin to the second finger. Now the coin with the shell and the regular coin inside nested are going to be able to just lift up. So now all I have to do is pull back down with my thumb, and the coins fall into place. In other words, it's hard for me to do it slowly, but to speed it looks like that. Coin's here. I just need to do this placement. The third finger lifts up, and I barely have to get by that. Barely have to get by. But now when my thumb pulls back in and my second finger pushes a little bit, I'm now in position to do the move, the one-headed unnest. The one-headed unnest is the oldest move in shell use. The opening of the shell is towards me, obviously. All the audience sees is the shell. I have the coin nested inside. I hold the coin between the thumb and middle finger. My index finger goes on top of the shell, on the edge of the shell. My third finger goes on the bottom. Now notice that if I let go, so now the shell is really being held by the index finger and third finger. So if I let go a little bit with the thumb, look what happens. The coin comes out, becomes a hand puppet. Hey, boys and girls, I like card tricks better. Shut up. Okay? So we're here. So if my thumb leans back a little bit, that's just all the opening I need. If I push up with the thumb, I now have a fan of two coins. So it went from 1 to 2. 1 to 2. Now, if I want to add in another coin, it's very simple. This coin just has to go in front. You can try to put it behind, and I've actually seen a few people do it, but that scares me quite a bit. It's easier to put the coin in front of the shell, closer to the audience. So here's the shell with a nested coin. Here's the regular coin, closer to the audience. The move is now exactly the same. They see two coins. Index finger on top, holding both, but particularly the shell. Third finger on bottom. Thumb just releases a little bit of its pressure, and you can tip back just a little bit, but you don't have to do much, right? And that allows that coin to pop out just a little bit. You push up with the thumb, now you have a fan of 3. So you had 2 coins very cleanly, now become 3. 2 coins very cleanly, now become 3. Now, the timing of this production is particularly important because 2 motions are going to happen simultaneously. It's going to be done under cover of the opposite arm. They don't know about this coin here, right? So I'm concealing that from them. With this arm, I'm going to cross over in front of these 2, the coin with the regular coin in the nested shell. cross over. And I'm going to reach out in the air, and I'm going to just do the same production we did before, not with a shake though. I'm just going to push with the thumb the coin to the fingertips. So they see 1 and 2. I reach out in the air over here. I push, producing this coin. And at the same time as this covers, I do the one-handed unnest. So to speed, it looks like this. That's coins 1 and 2. If I reach out in the air, that's coin number 4. So I'm clearing here. Everyone's looking here. My attention is here as well. Then I can drift back down and show that it's not. This is coin number 4 because number 3 already appeared over here. That's 1, 2, 3. You can do it exposed, but it does look better if you cover, right? And again, as long as that attention is on this coin, you call it the 4th coin, which to them that doesn't make any sense. But then now you can see that the 3rd coin's already appeared here. All right, let me show you something sneaky that I do. So, 4 coins, right? I'm going to count them. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm not whacking the shell. From the front, it looks like I'm whacking 3 coins. 1, 2, 3. But from my side, what it looks like, what I'm actually doing is I'm hitting the top coin first, then the same top coin again, but at the bottom of that coin. So 1, 2, 3. So you get a nice sound. 3 coins, right? But this is just one of those moments where you just, all of a sudden there's 4, and they can hear them, right? They just heard the 2 regular ones before. Now they seem to be hearing all 4. So you're now ready to go into the rest of the routine, which is of course going to be the moment when they all vanish. All of a sudden, you went from having 2 coins to 4. Now, we're going to take full advantage of the shell. It's going to help us out. 2 actions are going to happen simultaneously with this moment, which is the pop vanish, or what I refer to as the pop vanish. And it's really a moment that came from Jeff Latta's trick with 3 coins. I just was so creative, I added a 4th. But it really works nicely. So this hand is going to take this coin into position for French drop. And you're going to perform out of the Chris Kenner version of 3-fly, pop vanish, French pop. This coin is going to drop into finger palm as the hand turns over. So from here to here. As that occurs, the other hand is simply going to, with the thumb, pull the coin that was just produced back into the shell. It's going to be done with a slight arc. You're going to be performing these arcs simultaneously. The theory behind this, according to Jeff, was the idea that your eyeballs can go right to left and left to right, but if you have 2 objects that go out like this, your eyeballs can't, go opposite, or, I mean, some people's can, right? But we don't really want to talk to them, do we? Right? If your eyeballs can't do that, so therefore you're going to end up having to follow something, and it gets really confusing. So, I usually click them together like this, and then I perform the move simultaneously. So, French pop, nest, done to speed, boom. Okay? I then immediately take these 2 coins and transfer them to the opposite hand. So now the hand is now completely clean. And this is really the first time, besides the utility pass, they're getting to look inside the hand. But it seems like this hand is empty because you can do a little fussy wiggle if you want, but you're actually taking the object, so these are becoming like the wand, right? You have the coin in the finger palm. And now this hand looks empty. It's very, very clean and very deceptive moment. And of course, a very visual moment for the audience. So that's a pop vanish. Now we're going to do the next coin. All right, so we just transferred the coin and the nested coin to the opposite hand. We have a coin here in finger palm. I show this hand empty, and I'm going to close this hand up. And what's going to happen at the same time is these 2 coins are going to go right back into this hand's edge grip in the exact same position they were in. This coin, the coin that has the coin with the shell in it, is going to go right on top and be on top again. So you're just going to close the fan up and transfer and stick them. You literally just turn the edge of them towards the audience and place them into edge grip. So from here to here. As soon as those coins are back into your edge grip, the same thumb that just delivered them is going to move down and push the coin in finger palm up to the fingertips. The idea is sort of like they see 2 coins here, now they see the 1 here. So the only other place this coin can be, the missing coin, right, is in this hand. So that's 2 here, push it up to 1. Now the nice thing is, since you're using edge grip, you can show them what looks like 1 coin, right? They can stare directly into the hand, but it looks very free, very open. And with this hand closed, I mean, that's the only place the coin can be. So when I wave, now this one vanishes. So I'll do it again. I'll show you. The 2 coins are held in the fan. They tilt towards the edge towards the audience. So they can be placed right into edge grip. The thumb then can immediately push up the coin to the fingertips, keeping this hand closed and affecting the vanish. So that's the 2 for 1 change-up. All right, so what's going to happen here is we're going to perform the wave vanish. Now, the wave vanish is very interesting because for the audience perspective, it looks like the coin just disappears, right? Reappears. It's a fun vanish to do. Let me show you the technique. What's going to happen is, again, notice the position of the coin. The coin is being held between the index finger and thumb. The middle finger is slightly behind. And this is the position that we want to come back to. This hand is going to brush up. It's going to brush up. When my 3rd finger touches the knuckle of this 3rd finger, so this 3rd finger that's waving, the waving hand is going to brush the knuckle of the 3rd finger that's holding the coin. That's when I do this secret move. I'm going to take the coin, and it's not going to go into edge grip, it's just going to get clipped right there. So that middle finger is going to come out again, and just clip the coin. You're basically doing a retention pass into space. Okay? So I'm going to wave upwards, and as I wave upwards, I perform the move. As soon as those fingers touch each other, boom. Now, the reason why I'm waving up is that you'll notice that now I can control the angles that people see, because this is a really exposed position. But if my hand's up here, I can control those angles, right? So you see a coin there, now you don't. I wave back down, now you do. I do it twice, once straight up and straight down, without showing this hand empty. And most people think, well, it must be in the other hand, because that's what people always say with coin magic, right? So when I wave the second time, I come up, I show this hand empty, it turns over, and I come back down again. So I come up, do the move, show the hand empty, hand comes down again, reproduce the coin. It's important, again, like I said early on, that when you do the steal, you want to make sure that second finger now looks the same way it did when you were holding the coin, right? So it's kind of just jutted in, just a little bit in, right? Because now, look at that. That's exactly what the finger looks like from the front. But now my index finger will mask that, and this hand will help mask the other side. Okay? So, that way the hand looks as much alike as it did before, because remember, if you produce the coin and then you had the 2 fingers in front, it's not the same picture, right? You don't want this to be 1 finger, then suddenly 2. That's not good magic, right? You want there to be 1 finger, 1 finger, 1 finger. Okay? That's what makes it look convincing and realistic. So, that's the wave vanish. And this is sort of the culmination of this opening sequence. We produce all the coins, now we vanish them all. This one doesn't really vanish, just for a split second, right? But it's a very, very interesting way to kind of play with a different pacing of vanishes, and gives the audience a kind of, you get the best expression in the world from doing this wave vanish for audience members. You see them go, you see their heads like tilt further and further over, which lets you know that you're doing something right. So that's the wave vanish. So you've just performed the wave sequence. Now we're going to reproduce all the coins. And here's the nice thing. We're going to do pretty much the same moves that we did before. Almost identical, with one minor change. That's just as easy, actually. But we're going to do it at a slightly faster pace. So I have the 1 coin here that they know about. The coin with the shell is on top of the regular coin, and they're both in edge grip. Boom. That's where we are. The coin that's visible drops to my fingertips, to the finger palm of the other hand, and guess what? Shuttle pass from edge grip. So the coin is going to drop, just like we did in the beginning. Middle finger is going to go underneath, hand turns over. Now they think that's the first coin. So they see the coin has been vanishing, comes back, boom, that's coin number 1. Look, I'm ready. boom, that's coin number 2. And I just extend my hand, and when I reach full extension, that thumb does the same move it's been doing the whole time, pushes that coin to the fingertips. So if you think about this is very fast. They've just seen this thing wink in and out of existence. All of a sudden, that's 2. Now, this hand, which has the coin with the shell, is going to do the exact same move. So I've just produced this second coin. I take this coin, place it there. This is where the coin that's hiding the third coin is. And I just reach out in the air, and I do with the middle finger, comes out underneath the coin again, and allows that coin with the shell now to be pushed to the fingertips. So if you think about this to speed, that's shuttle pass, that's 1, that's 2, and then that's 3. I'll do it again just because I can't count. Obviously, that's why I'm an English major. Shuttle pass, that's 2, that's 3. That's it. So you've reproduced 3 coins at lightning speed, when just a moment before, they had no idea what was going on. So that's the 3-coin reproduction. And now let me show you how to get to the 4th coin. So you've just done a lightning reproduction of 3 of the coins. Now you get this pesky little shell here. It's not pesky, it's here to help us. Now we're going to do the easiest unnest from a shell you'll ever learn. These 2 coins drop into the hand, palm up display. Now what you're going to do is just let the coin with the shell, and now the shell, notice, is facing the audience, right? That coin just falls into finger palm. So we're not going to show them like this, right? We're not going to turn the hand down, otherwise they'd be able to see the rim of the shell. So that just falls down. And I finger palm, with my 3rd finger, the edge of the coin, which is also, of course, the shell. So from here to here. Now, as soon as I have that secured in finger palm, I turn the hand palm down. The audience never really sees the coin. It drops about here. See, now you can't see it from the front, but obviously from my point of view, I can see it. They see it for a split second in the fingertips. I immediately take it into finger palm. I turn the whole thing over. I retain the shell in finger palm. 3 real coins are here. And again, you get nice 3 real coins. They're nice and solid. You can just jingle them a little bit. That proves it to the audience. Now, to get this 4th coin that's in position to be reproduced. So, or at least the shell is. I have the 3 that I just dropped. I pick up the 3 in a fan. And I do the whole bit where I'm going to misdirect the audience. So I'm going to make them look over here. Right? I'm going to do a gesture to what is my right. As I do that, here's the sneaky move. Your middle finger, I keep holding on to the shell with the 3rd finger, because after all, it's a shell. And that, makes everybody angry. So if I push forward with that, keeping a hold on that coin with my 3rd finger, and then just bring my middle finger in into sort of an inappropriate but not position, right? I can then push in with the middle finger, letting the 3rd finger guide it to the bottom of the fan. So to speed, it just looks like you're handing the shell to the bottom of the fan. Now, of course, you do this as you're gesturing over here. So again, they're all looking over here because they think that's where the 4th coin is going to appear, but no, that's when you can then immediately turn back and no, it doesn't appear here. It appears where you least expect it. That's with the other 3. And generally what I do is, instead of leaving the fan up and down like this, because I think sometimes it's a little harder for them to see the number, I turn to the side. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've just done a lightning reproduction. 1, 2, 3, 4th coin just came out of nowhere. And now we're going to do what is my favorite vanish sequence, because it just looks so good. So now we're going to do a very quick vanishing sequence again. So you've produced the coins, they've all disappeared, they've all come back. We're going to do another vanish sequence, but it's very different from the others. So you talk about how, well, I just did all this general kind of gesture of misdirecting away. Don't take your eyes off the 4 coins, because if you blink, you'll miss one of them just vanish at my fingertips, just like that. So the position that you're in is the position you start from, right? We just reproduced the shell at the bottom of the fan. I turn the fan over. And don't turn the fan over. I'm looking at the fan. And what's going to happen is the shell is just going to nest in the coin that's closest to it. And then I'm going to reverse the position of the coins in the fan. So it nests And the top coin now becomes the middle coin. And now that second one just goes on the bottom. So they nest, they see this motion. And for the audience, it's like the coin just dissipates. And they can stare as much as they want because of that displacement of the 3 coins, or the other 2 coins. It really causes it makes it difficult for them to be able to see the exact moment when the 1 coin just dissipates. And now you're clean. You can show your hand empty if you want. So you're in a very nice position for that third vanish, or for that vanish of the first of the 4 coins. So you just performed this re-nesting vanish, right? And now, so it's important to remember that the coin with the shell is closest to you, okay? The other 2 coins are closer to the audience. You're going to perform the easiest vanish of the entire time, which looks like this. It's magic, right? From your side, I think of this as the Mickey Mouse move. The thumb just pulls down, which happens to be the shell, that coin behind the other 2 coins. Now to cover this, I just raise my other hand and say, I'm going to distract you just for a second. So all I do is I bring that hand right in front, and at the same time I lower the top coin from the fan. So from the audience perspective, they see nothing happen. From your perspective, you see you do this little Mickey Mouse impersonation, right? Depending on the size of your coins and the size of your fingers, you might have to cheat. Watch your angle a little bit, because sometimes when you pull the coin behind, it might sneak out the bottom. So sometimes I'll extend that third finger just a little bit to cover the bottom of the fan. But that depends on the size of your coins and the size of your fingers. It's up to you. Sometimes I get excited when I do the Mickey Mouse move, just because, I like Mickey Mouse. So that third finger can help out. So that's all it takes. It's just boom, done. So we've just vanished the coin. From my perspective, we just vanished the third coin, and I'm looking at this Mickey Mouse position, right? Now I want to transfer the fan of coins from one hand to the other. In order to do that, I'm going to cheat a little bit. My thumb is going to push on the shelled coin, nested coin, which is behind the fan of 2, across like this. Of course, this hand will cover that moment, so that as soon as that coin transfers over, my other thumb can take it. So now I can show what looks just like a simple fan of 2 going from hand to hand, right? So now once I'm in this position, I'm going to take advantage of my edge grip again, because now this hand is seen empty. This hand was just seen empty too. So you're down to 2 coins. This middle finger is going to push down on the coin that's at the bottom of the fan. Okay? And it's going to make that coin start to turn over like this. Now why are we making it turn over? See how notice it's riding along those 2 coins there? The reason we're making it turn over is that we're going to feed it directly into this hand's edge grip. All right? So I can come up, show a fan of 2, and now take the 2. I'll do it again from this side here. So they see this one here. I start to push down with that middle finger. It starts to cause that coin to tilt just a little bit. I don't need a lot of tilt, because my thumb can come up and help, and I can just feed that bottom coin of the fan directly into edge grip. Now this is important because of how you want to get cleaned up here. The coin with the shell is the one touching the thumb, right? That's how it got there. Went from here to there. It's here. This is the coin I'm going to push over and take at the fingertips. You'll see why that's important in a second. So as the hands separate, the coin that was concealed now comes to the opposite hand's fingertips. So I have the coin in edge grip. That's the nested shell. That's the regular coin. So to speed, again, it's all right. It looks like a very clean display. The idea being you show a fan of 2, and then you split the fan so they can clearly see 2 individual coins. And that is the edge flip transfer. So you've just produced the edge flip transfer. You have 1 coin now in edge grip. The coin that has the nested shell is held at the fingertips, the same coin, or the same hand rather, where you're palming the coin. The opposite hand is displaying a coin. You're going to now do a classic edge grip retention pass. So in other words, I do the same move I've been doing the whole time with the coin that's the nested shell. That middle finger is going to come out and catch the bottom of that coin so I can lever that coin all the way back into edge grip. Take it back out again. Notice the same motion gets you there. Middle finger comes out, tilts that coin back, coin goes into underneath the regular coin in edge grip. Notice that this is actually in some ways an easier position to edge grip the coins because now the bottommost coin is the expanded shell, which means it's larger than the rest of the coins, which means it actually can act as a shelf for the rest of them. Just something to think about. So I tilt that coin in. Now, I do this move as I pretend to place the coin into these three fingers. So I'm going to hold the coin that is not the shell coin, rather. So this is the regular coin at the very fingertip between the thumb and index finger. And I'm going to perform a retention pass. Done. So from your perspective, you see the coin here. As soon as these fingers come up and cover the motion, that middle finger can perform the standard steal. The coin goes into edge grip as the hands close. You reach up and take the coin that was at the fingertips. Now the line here is very important. What I say is, whatever you do, I always say, I'm going to try to help you out. Whatever you do, don't watch this coin. They're all going to watch this coin. It's the funniest thing. And you say, don't watch this coin. Because if you watch this coin over here, you're going to miss when this one vanishes over here. So the timing is, this is here. You do the vanish and say, don't watch this coin. Because if you watch this coin over here, you're going to miss the moment when this one vanishes over here. So for them, they really are watching this because you haven't brought their attention back to the other coin yet. So the coin goes into, you perform the retention pass, you take the coin, I usually point to it with the index finger, and then by that time I open up the hand and reveal the vanish. So, if you've made it this far, guess what? You don't have to vanish this last coin. We're going to go right into our big ending, because if you've gotten to this point in the routine, you're ready to do the real moneymaker reproduction, which is going to happen all pretty much in one step. So here's the final reproduction sequence. I'm going to try to keep it all together because it's just easier that way. If you remember, we actually have the coin with the nested shell on the bottom of the stack, the regular coin on top, and now we have the one coin at the fingertips. So they can look into the hand, they're very clean, you just vanish the coin from this hand. Now we're going to get to the big ending. The big ending is that this is the magical coin. If I'm going to hold out my hand and drop this coin into my open finger palm again. I'm going to do a shuttle pass, but a slightly different one. All right? What's going to happen is that I'm going to access the coin on top of the stack. How am I going to do that? I'm going to do exactly what I did earlier. I'm going to let go with my thumb and then just very gently release with my middle finger so that the coin, all the coins slide down to the finger palm. Okay? So from here to there. Again, this is easier with soft coins, but you can do this with regular coins as well. It's not that bad. What you're going to do is you're going to do another shuttle pass, but it's going to be slightly different. You're going to push this coin off in the finger palm, off of the finger palm position as you turn this hand over. So they see this, coin drops. I'm already dropping the stack. I show this coin, it's the magic coin. I turn hand down. This thumb just pushes that coin off the stack. Now, the coin is, now the one thing you have to be careful about is that the coin with the shell is nested here. You don't want that coin to fall out early. That would be bad magic, right? So what I do is I just tighten up a little bit with my third finger in the finger palm. That way now I know when I turn my hand over, it's not going to fall out. So I shuttle pass over. So all they know about is this one. I take this one back and wave. So I say, this is the magic coin. Drops down, shuttle pass over. When I wave it over this hand, so now I'm waving it over the hand that has the coin with the shell. When I wave it over this hand, it causes the third coin to appear. Two things are happening simultaneously when this happens. I'm pushing this coin, which is the nested coin, to my fingertips. As I do this, I'm going to do the same move that I did earlier with my middle finger. The second finger is going to push up a little bit. I'm sorry, yes, the second finger is going to push up a little bit, just scoot down a little bit, so that it can then, and the third finger is going to push in a little, So now my middle finger can just push that coin to the fan, or to what is now a fan. So the coin at the fingertips now gets a second coin. From here to here. From this finger palm position to here. All right? Now that happens under the cover of me revealing this coin. So to speed, it's like I push this coin to the fingertips. As I do this, and they say I call this coin number 3, I do the secret move down here. So if you want to make this a little quiet, what you can do is instead of doing it straight on, you're going to maybe get a little more noise. If you turn it so that middle finger is pushing upwards, you can kill some of the noise. And again, as always, the better contact, the sooner you have contact, the better. So instead of holding the hands like this and doing the move, hold the hands with the rotation of the palm up a little more upwards. Okay, that will help you cover some of the noise. So remember now, this is all happening here. So shuttle pass, wave, wave, wave. This hand comes up, produces coin. This hand does that move, putting the coin to the fingertips. I say, this is coin number 3. That's when the audience pauses. And they usually, by this time, you've conditioned them to look, but we're going to emphasize it. You say, that's because coin number 2 appeared here, and you reveal that there's 2 coins here now. And as this hand drops down, the index finger and third finger are going to go on top on either side, and you're going to do the one-handed unnest again. So it's a bunch of moves happening at once, but it's a lot of fun. And once you get the rhythm, so it's shuttle pass to here, wave, wave, wave. Produce what you call the third coin as you're doing the second coin to the fan to bring it up. And then as this hand comes up, they look here, you do the unnest, and you bring them both to the level. So all of a sudden, there was 1, and now there's 4. One little touch, I do my best to convince people that these are all real coins. I'll take the coin that's the shell at the bottom of this fan, right here, right? And I'll place it to the back of this coin here, in the opposite hand. And then I'll let go of the shell so I can now grab the coin at the bottom of the fan. What this allows me to do is to pull away and rub. And that's a really great convincer for magicians that these are real coins. I will also drop the hands like this and shake, but I'll make sure I shake the hand that has the 2 real coins a little harder. That way, you get this motion, but you don't get the tinny noise because most of it's covered by the actual clinking of the coins. So you're here. I just transfer that back here, take this coin, and grab the one from the bottom. You're just trying to get that shell into the back so that you can do a little wiggle, do a little bounce. You drop them all on top there, get a nice clink from the coins. So that is the shell version, the gimmicked version of misbehaving. Ever seen one of these before? It's a cheap hand puppet. Hi, boys and girls. I love magic. No, I'm kidding. I just keep my props small. That way they're easier for me to carry around from place to place. Let me stretch this one out for you, make it a little bit easier for you to see. It's an old silver $50, minted about the turn of the century. It's what they call a barber half. You can see how it sort of shines and glints in the light there. Sometimes what I can do, though, is I can actually take this shine off, give that shine a little shake at my fingertips. Gives me a second coin, just like that. That's 1 and 2. If I reach out in the air over here, I can always get coin number 4. See, coin number 3 already appeared here. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. No, I understand that's confusing, right? Because just a moment before, you only saw the 2, right? And just a moment before that, you only saw the 1. And then when I was doing the hand puppet thing, you thought I was lying to you, but I wasn't. You thought I was concealing something from you, but I was. That coin's been here the whole time. That's number 1. It's always followed by number 2, which is always followed by number 3. If that's 1, 2, and 3, all I have to do to get the 4th one is reach out in the air, and it always appears where you least expect it. That's what the other 3. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I understand. This is hard to follow sometimes, so I'm going to try to distract you, but just a little bit, maybe in a hypnotic way, just by spinning the coins. Don't take your eyes off the coins, because if you do, you miss the moment when one of them vanishes at your fingertips. Just like that. I understand. I did distract you. But it only took a moment of distraction. It always does. That gives me these 2 here. If I want to, well, I'm going to try to help you out. Don't follow this coin. Don't watch this coin. Because if you watch this coin over here, you miss the moment when this one vanishes. Here. That leaves me with the last coin, which is the magic coin, by the way. If I wave it over this hand, it causes coin number 3 to appear here. Because see, coin number 2 appeared here at the same time coin number 4 appeared here. And even I'm confused at that point. So I know some of you out there are purists. You don't want to use a gaff, and I understand. But you need to watch the version with the gaff because it's really good. And it teaches you all the necessary sleights. What I'm going to do is show you exactly how the ungaffed version works. It works pretty much the same way as the gaffed version does, but with a little extra hard work because you have to be concealing another coin throughout the whole routine. All right? So let's get right into it. Instead of having a stack of 3, I now have a stack of 4 silver half dollars in edge grip. That's me. You use the size of coins that best fits your hands, okay? I'm going to do the exact same production I did before. The middle finger is going to reach under and bring the lowermost coin to the fingertips. Boom, right? Same move, exact same move. Same move again. I drop this coin to the fingertips. Now I'm going to reach down with the middle finger and do a shuttle pass. So shuttle pass from edge grip. So now I have a coin concealed here in the finger palm. I have a coin on display here at the fingertips, and I have 2 coins in edge grip now. Because you want to work harder. I get it. I do the same shake vanish, or shake production rather, to give me 2 coins. Now things are going to change a little bit, because we're going to get one little quick move that's going to help us out quite a bit. I drop the 2 coins onto each other in this hand. As this hand with the coins in edge grip turns down, I just let the 2 coins flop using the same move I've been doing down into finger palm. So I release contact with the thumb. The third finger slowly lets go as the third finger guides the coins down into finger palm. Now you don't have to worry about noise here because you can bounce these coins. It covers you. Now you're going to do what I call the finger palm pickup. Both hands are going to do the exact same thing. Both hands are going to touch. The thumbs are going to contact the coins that are closest to them and push them to the fingertips. This is going to happen as this hand comes over. See, by the time my hand gets over, my thumb is already contacting the 2 coins. This thumb comes inside, and I just separate the hands. All right? Both hands doing the same thing. Separate the hands. So now you see I have a coin concealed in either finger palm and a coin at either fingertips. This is pretty much where you'd be, except for the fact that you'd have a shell helping you out in the other routine. These 2 become a fan. I'm going to add this bottom coin to the bottom of that fan as I reproduce over here, right? Using the exact same technique with the middle finger and third finger pushing that coin, which is now a coin instead of being a shell, to the bottom of the fan. And this is all, of course, this is the misdirection production. This is 1 and 2. If I reach out in the air over there, that's number 4 because number 3 is already here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Exact same sequence. So that's the production. That's the initial production. Let me show you the vanish sequence because you'll see the vanish sequence is very similar. You're going to do the pop vanish now, but because you don't have a shell, you're just going to do the Mickey Mouse vanish. That thumb is going to just drag the coin behind the fan. So you realize at this point when I do the same gesture, right? Now I'm not as clean. But we're going to work hard. That's fine. You're going to transfer this fan of 2 coins to this hand while concealing the coin behind it, just like we did in another part of the sequence in the original version. That coin's just going to ride behind. So now you have a really busy hand. You have a coin in finger palm concealed. You have this Mickey Mouse look going on here. So from here to here. That way you can now show this hand empty. And now you're going to just jam these 3 coins. Instead of doing a 2-for-1 transfer, you're going to do a 3-for-1 transfer. You're going to take these, but they don't know about the third one, right? You're going to take these, all 3 of these coins here and place it into your edge grip. It goes right in, like that. Same move, right? It goes right in, and your thumb then pushes out the coin to reveal the 1. So as far as they're concerned, this looks pretty clean. Not as clean as the shell, though. I'm just going to rub that in. I'm just going to keep rubbing that in, but that's just me. Now what do? You do the wave vanish, exactly the same way before. But now instead of having 2 coins and the shell and edge grip, now you have 3. Exact same thing. So that's the whole first sequence, right? You can see how similar it is to the version with the shell, and you can see how the shell helps you out to really make things clean. But if you want to work a little extra harder and have that cleanliness in terms of, in case they suddenly tackle you, strip you naked, and steal your coins, you have exactly 4 coins. All right, so that's the first production and vanish sequence. So we just did the wave version, right? We have 3 coins in edge grip. Things are going to be pretty much the same now, right? This coin drops to the fingertips. You can show it in finger palm. And I just do the exact same move. I'm going to do a fingertip, really what amounts to a shuttle pass out of edge grip, right? So that third finger is going to come underneath, produce the bottom coin of the stack of 3 as this hand turns over. So it looks like that, right? That's number 1, they think. Now you're loaded in both hands, ready to go. Just simply produce that coin that you just shuttle passed concealed, right? So that's 2. Now, here you're going to reach out and you're going to do an edge grip production. Barehanded, no cover. That middle finger is going to underneath and just bring that coin to the fingertips. So this is fun, right? So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, all right? Still have the other coin in edge grip. I drop the 3 coins and let them bounce in the hand. As I do that, I let the coin, I just tip it over with my thumb, let it fall in the finger palm, right? Now notice I'm in the position to do the exact same reproduction as the misdirection reproduction I did before. I pick up the fan of 3 with this hand, I reach out in the air over here, everyone looks to this side, same move, except this time instead of feeding a shell to the bottom of the fan, I feed a regular coin to the bottom of the fan. Boom. Done. So, this is the reproduction sequence, the end of the second reproduction sequence. Now, here's where we lose the most clean vanish that we have with the shell. So we're going to do something else, something that you sleight of hand geeks will really enjoy. All I'm going to do is twist. That coin's going to dissipate at my fingertips, just like that. All right? Here's the move. You're going to twist the entire fan of 4 coins. When the edge of the fan hits them, and the hand that you're not going to palm with is palm up, this hand, which is now palm down, obviously, that middle finger is going to contact the coin closest to them. You're going to twist over again. As you twist over, as soon as you meet the point where this edge, the top edge of the fan, now faces them, you're just going to do the steal of the bottom coin from the fan. You have this other hand to help you steady you, but this middle finger is now going to just let that coin slip in, right? So it just slides in and goes right into edge grip as the other hand continues to turn. So you get ready, you point this in their face, you let that middle finger steal that coin into edge grip as the other hand continues the rotation. Now the problem is you can't rotate this hand forward too much now, because then you'll start to flash from the top. So you just have to be careful as you go. This is a fun one to practice in the mirror, because it'll even fool you. It'll even fool you. And then I usually display these 3 as being very clean and take full advantage of the edge grip sort of display, right? So I call this the rotation edge steal. And it's a nice substitute if you don't have a shell. And it looks pretty darn good. You just have to watch your angles a little more, as you often have to do with sleight of hand. Now, all you're going to do is the Mickey Mouse move, because we have vanish of a fan of 3, so haha, right? We do this at the misdirection moment when I say, I just have to misdirect you for a moment. I just have to distract you for just a moment, right? So now I'm in a very interesting position, right? Coin in edge grip, coin concealed behind the fan. You're going to do the same transfer of the fan over, continue to conceal this coin. Now for the really fun move, because we've got to clean up this ugliness over here, and we have a coin in edge grip, right? So you're going to do pretty much the identical thing. You're going to do the edge flip as a transfer, but now you got to put it on top of the coin that's already in edge grip. So the bottom coin is going to do, you're going to pull down with that middle finger again, cause that coin to flip down just a little bit, just so it's almost in edge grip position, right? As it flips down, you're going to feed it right on top of the coin in edge grip. So it's going to go right there like that. And then you can split the 2. So you're revealing the concealed coin, but they don't know it's concealed, right? Because they don't know it's there. So this goes right in, and then you can split. Now, do you need to be worried about noise at this moment? No, because look at this. So I have a fan of 2 coins. I take them apart. They're going to have an ambient noise. There's going to be they're going to cause a bit of noise. So if you make any noise off of this moment of transfer in, don't worry about it. Okay? Don't worry about it. You can still be able to see. You know, I mean, they can go right in. It's all right if you make a little clinky noise. I wouldn't worry about it. Now you just finish up the way you did before for the vanish sequence. You're going to just do a retention pass into edge grip, except now you have 2 coins there rather than 1, and wave. Or that's not the wave. That's when you do this. You point to this coin over here. Don't follow this coin, because if you do, you miss the moment when this one disappears. Right? So virtually identical except for that one little transfer. So that's the vanish, and that's the vanish sequence. So we're going to do one more reproduction sequence, right? We're not going to vanish this coin because we don't have to. I'm going to drop the coin down to my fingertips. The whole stack of 3 is going to rotate down. I'm going to do the same thing I've been doing. I'm going to let go with the thumb. The middle finger is going to let that stack of 3 fall into finger palm, right? Now I can show this one. I can do the same move with the shuttle pass, where the thumb pushes up, the top coin off the stack, the third finger keeping the stack in position. So I turn down, push up at the same time, create the illusion of the coin, right? Now I'm here. I take this coin back, wave, just like before, but now instead of having the coin with the shell on it, I have 2 coins. So now when I wave, I have to just push off the 1 again. So again, that third finger is going to help me out to keep the stack, the coin in place that's there. And then with my thumb, the coin just pushes to the fingertips. So I wave, I say, see, that's coin number 3, right? Because down here, you're doing the same secret move as before. You're just adding that coin to the bottom of the fan. And you say, that's the magic coin. When I wave like this, it causes coin number 3 to appear. So I did the secret move down here. Because coin number 3 appeared here, at the same time, coin number 4 appeared over here. Now, you're showing coin number 3 over here. You do the same secret move, but now you do it with the other hand, right? Your middle finger pushes that coin to the bottom of the fan. So you can see how effective this is. With the addition of sleight of hand and by taking out the gaff, you're doing virtually the same moves. But it's just not going to be as clean. It's not going to have as many punctuated moments of cleanliness that what I feel makes the routine worthwhile. Honestly, I came up with the gaff version first. I came up with this version because I knew there would be people out there saying, well, you should do it, you just clean, you just pour it in. Yeah. Well, that's fine. Some people are looking for, they're concerned about the quality in terms of being as clean as possible, right? In terms of how they feel. I'm more concerned about things being as clean as possible in terms of how they look for the audience. So make your choice. I can go either way. It's your life, right? It's your life, yeah. Anyway. So that's the ungaffed version of misbehaving. Well, I hope you enjoyed misbehaving. Like I said, it's been my worker routine. I've been doing it all the time now, and it's something I feel very strongly about. So I feel like I'm giving up something that has just been a piece of me for a long time. It's been available in print for a long time, but nobody does it, and I've made a lot of changes to it over the years, so I'm glad I can able to share what I think are the best parts of it. I'd like to just encourage you, obviously, the thing that you have to work on the most is edge grip. So, if you don't own that Coins on Edge book, just you might want to think about that. I'm just saying. No, but what you learn in this video is a lot of the basics of edge grip. So embrace that. Play with it. Use it, because it is probably the most valuable sleight for if you're doing table hopping, or even if you're doing stand-up sleight of hand with manipulation with coins. It's such a valuable technique. A couple thank yous. First of all, thank you to the wonderful people here at Cell Rose who have given us a location to film this in. Also, a big shout out and thanks to the talented and incredibly attractive people at Lost Art. They're good friends of mine, and I really appreciate everything about them. Finally, a special shout out to you, the viewer at home, who've sat there and watched this and went through the pain of enjoying this sleight of hand. Don't be scared. Just embrace it. Just practice. It's a one day at a time thing. This routine has taken me years and years to get to the point where it is now. So take your time. Enjoy it. Figure out what you want your really good magic to look like. And hopefully what I've given you, and hopefully what you can take away from this, are just some good ideas about making your coin magic look as clean as possible. So if you enjoyed this DVD, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'm more than happy to answer questions. You can find me at kainoaland@gmail.com. That's my catch-all email. You can also find me at kainoaland.com. Also, feel free to check out my Facebook page, which is magicofkainoa.com, or that's just Magic of Kainoa Facebook page. I don't know. You know how to find me. Use the social media. You do it better than I do anyway. Anyway, thanks for watching again. Take care.